A lot of you have been asking me to make videos about zero DTE option strategies, specifically for small accounts using SPY. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys a strategy that I tested out this past week for the last 5 days. Today's Friday, so I've been testing this out since Monday. And in the 5 days I've tested this out, I'm 5-0, and it's made an average of about $100 a day, and using very little capital. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the entry parameters, when to take entry, when to exit, take profit, stop loss, how to execute a trade for this particular type of strategy in Robinhood. Get ready, take some notes. So let's do this. So when I started looking into some of these options, pun intended, right, with different strategies, I wanted something that I could enter when the market opens, but I'm usually not at the computer when the market opens since I drop my daughter off to school every morning. So when I was looking into something that can be super robotic, no indicators, I don't need to be in front of the computer, and something that just takes pure advantage of time decay, I ran into a beautiful and amazing zero DTE strategy that the people over at Tasty Live have been back testing and doing the research on for a while. So I decided to give that particular strategy a shot, and that is selling iron condors on the SPY. They do it as strangles. I did it with iron condors because this way you need less capital. They tested it out using the strangles, which you need a lot more capital in your account to be able to do. But with an iron condor, since you're selling options and buying those wings, guess what? Your cost is a lot lower. So when I did this particular zero DTE strategy, it made an average of about $100 a day using a $3,000 collateral. Smaller accounts can do this as well. So if it's making $100 a day using $3,000, that's amazing. Here are the results. Today is January 17th, which is a Friday. This was today, made $105. This was Thursday, again, made $105. Wednesday, this one made $90. Again, Tuesday, made $90. And on Monday, it made $115. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days, 5 wins. Now, I'm showing you guys these screenshots because I know people are going to be like, well, why don't you show your live account? What are you trying to hide? Okay, for some reason on Robinhood, on the mobile app, it's easier to see the plus and minuses, so you guys can do the math on this and add these up, right? If I pull this up in my actual account on the desktop, right? This is what it does. Show more. I'd have to start looking at one to see, okay, this is when I closed and I got this is the cost. This is the credit that I got. All right, come on, load up. There we go. Right? So that's why I was showing you guys those screenshots, because it's a lot easier to do this. I'm going to go into all the details, so make sure you keep watching, but I want to set this up so you properly understand this. The reason why I like the strategy is I can get into it at market open. I don't need to be looking at charts. All I do is find the delta that I want and execute, okay? And I can set my take profits. One of the best ways to make money with zero DTE options is to take profits quick because of the time decay, and you need to manage those positions well. And the beauty of it is that I can set my take profit as soon as I get into the trade. So this way I'm not watching it the rest of the day. So for instance, this is the trade from today, right? I placed this order. I submitted this order at 9:01. It executed at 9:01 today. Make sure you pay attention to this 9:01 a.m., right? Central Standard Time. As soon as I got in, I submitted a take profit order, a limit order for at 9:02. And while I was driving back home, it executed at 9:21 in 20 minutes. Let's look at yesterday. I entered the trade at 8:43 a.m., right? It got filled. At 8:44, I submitted my order for the take profit, so it automatically takes profit. So it's very robotic. That executed at 9:20 a.m. yesterday. A lot of the profits come within the first hour just because of the volatility, because SPY will rarely open up high and continue going up the rest of the day. It will have its ups and downs. That is what happens. So for instance, today, yeah, it opened right here and it went sideways, and then it found a direction and went that way. Same thing with yesterday. It opened up super high yesterday, right? There was a big gap up, went down, and this is where selling the iron condors makes the most money, is because of that time decay while is just fluctuating up and down, up and down. As long as you're in a particular range, you're good to go. So now what exactly are the parameters for getting into this trade. All right, so get ready for the entry and exit rules as well as the parameters that I look at when I'm getting into these trades. For the iron condors, we're going to sell the iron condor because we're going to be collecting a credit. To open the trade, first, you're going to sell 20 delta call and then buy call 2 strikes above that. Number 2, you're going to sell 20 delta put and then buy put 2 strikes below that. And I'll show you guys an example in Robinhood, okay? But I just want you guys to have these notes so you guys can reference them. Take profit. We want to take profit quick. I set my take profit at only 15%. And with the risk to reward on this, stop loss, I'll do at 45%. And this is what I wanted to do. And this is where my strategy kind of varies a little bit from the folks over at Tasty Live. They did all of their research and they recommended not to have a stop loss at all because it really didn't make much of a difference. But for my mental sanity, I need to have a stop loss. I don't want to make a 15% profit and then I want to lose 150 to 200% on that on a losing trade. So for that, to keep my variance low, I've decided on a 45% stop loss. So this way, even if I win 1 out of 3 trades, I'm break even. So anything that wins more than that is going to be gravy. So far this week, it's been great, 5-0. So on the right track with that stuff. So these are the entry conditions, the take profit, stop loss. Now, how do you actually execute this trade in Robinhood? So let's go back into Robinhood so I can show this to you guys. So first, you're going to go into SPY, trade options. And also, if I haven't already said this, none of this stuff is financial advice. This is all for informational purposes only. All right. So, well, the day is about to come to a close. So the premiums on all of this stuff is going to be really crap for today. So because of that, pretend this is 0DT. Okay. Even though this says this expires in 4 days, I'm going to pretend like this is 0DTE just for the sake of an example right now because we need to find something. So first thing, when you get into the options, select the date. So on 0DT, you're going to, of course, pick that at that time. Call, sell, and we're going to look at the deltas. All right, close enough to 20 delta. So we're going to sell this, click on buy, go 2 strikes above. So 1 strike, 2 strike. Going to buy that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the puts. I'm going to go to the put. Here's where the market's at right now. And look at, let's see what the delta is on here. That's 28. That's too high. It's 23. That's 16. So that's too low. 19 delta. Perfect. All right, close enough to 20. So put, sell. Going to sell this one at 593 strike. And then I'm going to go 2 strikes below. 1 strike, 2 strike. Going to buy that. So the total credit will be 56 cents, and this will tie up $200 in capital. Okay. So that's why this is great for small accounts, because you can do this trade if you were doing just one contract. You could do this trade with as little as $200 in your account. I was using $3,000 as collateral because I was doing 15 contracts at a time. Okay. Because $3,000 is still a pretty decent small account for doing a strategy like this if you want to make $100 a day. And then continue, put in the price, limit price, and then you're going to execute. And then as soon as you get into the trade, you can take, okay, you know what? I don't mind this. I'm gonna actually make this trade just so I can show this to you guys. And I might just lose some money on it, but I want to show you guys how to actually execute this. So let's just do this for one. Okay. So medium price is, say, 57 cents, right? So I want to get this executed. I'm just going to do it at 56 cents. See if it executes real quick. So I can show you guys how to do the take profit on it too. Okay, great. I did it. And I'm going to go back into SPY. I've got this trade that I just opened right now, right? And this is how you're going to set up your take profit. So the average credit on this was 57 cents. Bring up the calculator. So we want to do a 15% take profit. So 85% of that is what the price we'd want to buy this back at. So 0.57 times 0.85. So that would be taking a 15% profit. It'd be at 48 cents. So now I'm just going to do a close, whatever amount of contracts that you bought. We just bought one for this example. And then in the price, we're going to put in 48 cents, review order, submit. So account, whenever this trade is in that profit by 15%, it will auto execute. It doesn't matter what you're doing at that time, right? That's why when I got into that trade this morning, I was out driving around. I placed the trade. And then whenever it executed, I got a notification on my phone on Robinhood that, hey, this trade was done and I locked in profits and it got out. I'm like, that's beautiful. That's great. Now let me plug my service for a second. Now, if you want to see the trades that I'm actually making on a daily basis and the kind of trades that I do that have kept me profitable for over 13 years, well, make sure you check out my Patreon where I post when I enter trades, when I exit trades. These are 2 trades that I exited today, which were great. One made $943. Other one made $722. And I place these trades in my analysis whenever I get in and out of trades. Right now, yeah, you can become a member and get all of this information, all my trades, all the educational stuff for only $9 a month. So check it out, and then I will see you guys on the next one.